Have you ever known about the real killer in soft drinks? What of the sweetness thereof, and the likes? This is the truth. Let's expose it. The sweetness in all industrialized soft drinks are not really from natural sugar. They are a complete different stuff, a silently killing substance known as aspartame. I'm going to break down the biochemical reality of aspartame into 3 parts. First, we have the aspartic acid, then phenylalanine, and lastly, methanol. Each of these components is a silent saboteur, causing harm in its own way. But when combined in aspartame, they form a perfect storm of toxicity. First, aspartic acid. Now, normally, aspartic acid is found in dark chocolate, asparagus, artichokes, lettuce, tomatoes. And it's generally recognized as safe in its natural form because it's bound in proteins. However, in aspartame, it's in a free form. And here's the problem. Here it acts like an excitatory neurotransmitter in the brain, similar to glutamate. Sounds helpful until you realize that too much excitation is like hitting the gas pedal of your car and never letting go. When this happens, you're stuck in a state of constant overstimulation. Your neurons become exhausted and eventually burn out. Specifically, aspartic acid floods the NMDA receptors in neurons. When this excess stimulation happens, it causes a massive influx of calcium into the nerve cells. Calcium overload then triggers the production of free radicals and mitochondrial dysfunction. This means that the energy factory of the cell is compromised. As a result, you get neurotoxicity, which eventually leads to cell death, either through a process called apoptosis or necrosis. Apoptosis is like a programmed cell death, a clean and controlled process where the cell dismantles itself. On the other hand, necrosis is a messy cell death, an uncontrolled explosion of the cell due to some external factors. Both of these processes are not good for the brain. They lead to a loss of function and are linked to epileptic seizures, multiple sclerosis flare-ups, Alzheimer's disease progression, and general neurodegeneration in susceptible brains. Now, let's look at the second component, phenylalanine. Normally, it's an essential amino acid, the building block of proteins that we get from our diet. It's a precursor for dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine, the neurotransmitters that help with mood, focus, and stress response. But in aspartame, this seemingly innocent amino acid becomes a problem because it's rapidly absorbed and can spike blood levels very quickly. It crosses the blood-brain barrier faster than normal, overwhelming the brain with phenylalanine. There, it competes with other large neutral amino acids like tryptophan and tyrosine for entry. This competition is crucial because tryptophan is the building block of serotonin, the neurotransmitter that regulates mood, sleep, and many other essential functions. By blocking tryptophan uptake, phenylalanine effectively lowers serotonin levels in the brain. Consequently, you might experience mood disorders, anxiety, depression, and poor sleep regulation. Excess phenylalanine also disrupts the delicate balance of dopamine in the brain. This can lead to a risk of mania, aggression, or cognitive instability. For individuals with PKU, a rare genetic disorder, phenylalanine builds up massively in the body, leading to severe brain damage and developmental disability. Lastly, we have methanol. Methanol is an alcohol found in fruits too. Yes, but in fruits, it's bound with ethanol and pectin, which slow its absorption and protect the body. In aspartame, however, it's free and rapidly absorbed. Once inside the body, it's oxidized first to formaldehyde and then to formic acid. And here's the kicker. Both formaldehyde and formic acid are toxic. Let's break it down further. Step B. Formaldehyde, which is a Class A carcinogen. You know, in the safety data sheets of aspartame, they actually list formaldehyde as a hazardous component. That's how dangerous it is. Methanol is oxidized to formaldehyde by alcohol dehydrogenase in the liver and other tissues. Now, formaldehyde is highly reactive. It forms cross-links with DNA, RNA, and proteins. It binds to DNA. It can cause mutations leading to cancer, especially blood cancers and brain tumors. Furthermore, formaldehyde can cross-link proteins, contributing to tissue stiffening, aging, and organ dysfunction. It also suppresses the immune system, weakening the body's defense against abnormal cells. Now step C. Formaldehyde is further metabolized to formic acid. Formic acid inhibits cytochrome C oxidase in mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. This inhibition blocks ATP production, leading to an energy crisis in cells. Nerve and retinal cells are especially sensitive to this, which explains why methanol poisoning can cause blindness. Chronic mitochondrial stress also accelerates neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's, ALZ, and other related disorders. So there you have it. Aspartame isn't just a simple sweetener. It's a dangerous concoction that wreaks havoc on the nervous system, metabolism, and even the DNA of our cells. From neurotoxicity to carcinogenic risks, the dark side of aspartame is a silent threat that many people are unaware of. If you want more information on this topic, stay tuned.